song is a German song. It's a Lied. The words by a guy named Justinus Kern. He was an interesting man, and you will hear connections between him and you in a moment. He too had an occupation, a profession that had nothing to do with composition. He was a writer of medical tracts. He had a degree in medicine. He was famous as a writer on medical matters, but he dabbled in poetry, and he was a very good poet. He was published, he was well liked, and composers set him to music. But what he's really famous for in our day is the following. One day he was at his desk writing, and you know they didn't have ballpoint pens then. He used a fountain pen, and it leaked, and it made a blot on the paper, and he panicked, and he folded the paper in half. And he opened it up, and there was this beautiful symmetrical blot. And he said, "Oh, this is gorgeous. I've got to make some more of these and show it to my friends and ask them to interpret it, because this really stimulates the imagination." Now, you know that today as the Rorschach test, I'm sure, because Mr. Rorschach, who was Swiss, lived in Switzerland, read Justinus Kern's treatise on the ink blots, which are known as Klecks in German. And the art of studying these ink blots is called Klecksography. And Mr. Rorschach, when he was 7 years old, became so entranced with Kerner's ink blots that he showed them to every kid in his class, and they started nicknaming him Kleck, ink spot. And now, of course, they are normally used in psychological interpretations of personality and subliminal thought, the Rorschach test, and Kerner invented it. No one had ever thought to use this interpretively before. The text for that is in a book. It's quite short, but I do want to say something about it. It's called Silent Tears. Silent Tears. You rise from sleep and wander through the meadow. The heavens in their wondrous blue reach over all the land. But while you slumbered so free of care, these heavens were wept never-ending tears the whole night through. Now you understand that when the heavens weep never-ending tears, it's a rainstorm, okay? Those are the tears. In such still nights, many a man weeps away his grief, just as heaven rains at night, so men weep at night. And in the morning, you'd think his heart was always glad. That is, you have no idea what is going through my heart and my mind at night when I weep over you, my unreciprocated love. You get up blithely in the morning, walk out in the sunshine, the sky is blue, and you don't know what went on during the night. The high note in this song, which is the equivalent of a high C for tenors, I think it's an F for you. The high note is on the word Schmerz, sorrow, grief. Neither Robert or I really are sure about why the high note should be on the word grief, because it sounds like a note of triumph in the song, as you will hear. But the mood of the poem is anything but triumph, because this man has cried away his soul all night long. The most famous singer of his songs was named Gervais Carey Elwes. Does that ring any bells? Does anybody know Carey Elwes, the actor who played Wesley in The Princess Bride? And Carey Elwes, the actor, was the great-great-grandson of Gervais Elwes. But why I'm telling this is because Houseman loved the way Elwes sang. And in 1921, Elwes went on a grand tour and came to Boston. And he and his wife came to Back Bay Station on the railroad. And being a kind man, he did the following. When he got off the train, he noticed that someone had dropped an overcoat on the platform. He bent down to pick it up, handed it to the conductor, and accidentally caught himself between the moving car and the platform and was killed. At the height of his career.
Wow.
And Houseman and all of the composers of the time were decimated by this. And indeed, Houseman died 2 years later, thinking about this to his grave. I just wanted to let you know that. And I wanted to end on a happy note.